Hello. So I think we've got started. Uh, are you guys hearing me? Sound off in the chat if you can hear anything. Hey, Robert. A few people in here today. With Tina, hello. Stefano from Kimmelware Gaming. Robert Evans. Hello, Charlene. So this was just thinking of doing kind of stream to test out the setup today. Got a few more planned for. Yeah, there is a delay. Got a few more streams planned out for this year, but this is mostly just a test, so I'm going to be just doing some stuff in Blender and just hanging around in the chat mostly. So how is everyone doing today? Are you guys working on anything right now? Definitely it was calling about the latency thing, so I'll just get rolling with Blender and Tina Martins has been crafting all day. I'm sure you have. In your case, I think it's more a case of how many things have you been working on. So I'll just get rolling with Blender and keeping an eye on the chat at the same time, so maybe the delay won't be so much of a problem. Robert Evans is working on weathering barrels, so that sounds interesting. So is that part of your terrain table that you've been working on last time, or is it something new? I'm going to be trying to make a 3D version of this one so I can bump out an STL. So that's what I'm going to be doing here today mainly. Yeah, there is a bit of a delay, like longer than I thought, to be honest. I'm pretty sure that's something I can change in the settings, but I have no idea how to do that right now. But anyway, I'll just get messing around, and if you guys have any questions or just want to say something, just drop it in the chat, stop me at any time. Okay, starting off by switching this to millimeters from the scene settings, otherwise it's just going to be huge. Welcome back, Stefano. So I was planning, trying to figure out the laziest way to do this, and I think this is pretty much it. So I'm going to be making 2 concentric circles. Then I'm just going to work on one segment and replicate it all across the other stuff. So we won't be needing most of these. And these two can go away as well. Okay, so I'm just going to turn this into a single plane. And extrude it up to 1 centimeter. Nope, not that way, that way. Okay, and get rid of the bits I don't need. Okay, so what I've done so far is I've created two lines which I know will fit along the circle, extruded them into a box, and then removed all the bits I don't need. So what I want to do next is to bevel the pieces. You can probably do this with just a single block and play around with it. Okay, so what I want to do is bevel these two sides here. Hey Max, nice to see you. Thanks for dropping in. I'm going to make two cuts in here just by eye. You can do this more precisely, but doesn't really matter. So now we have two extra edges to work with. And I'm going to select one of these openings and select normal orientation. That way if I change something it will use these axes rather than the rest of the stuff. You will notice if you do it differently because it will just go in all sorts of strange directions. Okay. So I'm using Alt click to select all the opening at the same time. As for scaling, and 0.9 to scale it down. That gives me the rough shape of one brick. Okay, now what I need to do is replicate this 32 times to get it to go around. So I'm going to apply some modifiers to it. I'm going to do an array modifier. And I need to replicate this 32 times. Now to get it to go around in a circle, I'm going to tell it to rotate around the point. So what I'm going to do is add an empty, which is just an object with no volume. And tell it to use it as an offset. Now hopefully here yeah, that kind of worked. But something went wrong, obviously. What went wrong? Yeah, this was one of the things I was worried about with the live. I tested this previously, but obviously some things changed a little. I've got this going 32. Why is this not working? So this is the one I did yesterday. I'm just trying to refer back to it to see what I did differently. Hey Colin, good to see you. Let me try that again. So circle number 1. Forgot to set the C in units, obviously. Hey Colin, since you're here, do you have any idea how to reduce the delay on the chat? Between the video and the chat? When you stream, typically between 15-20 seconds delay. Oh, wow. Okay, because I thought I had set something up wrong, but yeah, we can work with that, I guess. Okay, I guess this just doesn't want to be my friend today. Okay, it's a lot easier when I'm working off a pre-recorded script and stuff. It makes me look a lot smarter. But this is usually how I work. I mean, I just keep muddling through stuff until it works. Blender and I will not be friends, I think. No, I think it's fine, really. It's until you get used to it. Definitely takes a little bit of time to get used to, but it's not that weird. Let's see. The only chat settings you can toggle is slow chat, which limits how many messages False can put in the chat. One every 30 seconds. Yeah. Yeah, I guess it's easier to keep time filled. Ooh, wait. Time filled up when you get more people in the stream. Like when you have guests over, which I hope to do at some point. And I think I figured out what was going wrong. Yep. I forgot to turn off the relative offset. Okay, that was dumb. Okay, let me go over this properly again one more time. So I'm going to get started with a circle, 8 centimeters diameter, and 32 vertices. This number will be important later, so just remember to keep track of that. Okay, hopping into edit mode, and I'm going to get another circle, this time with 6 centimeter diameter. You know, Colin, the good thing about Blender is that you can build stuff, but you don't need to use a ruler. Okay. I'm just going to get rid of all this stuff I don't need. Nope, I need this one. Come on. There. Okay, so I've only got these two pieces of the circles left. I'm just going to connect them together with a fill. I think maybe if I turn on the screencast keys it might be easier to follow. Okay, back into object mode. modifiers, and I'm going to hit this with an array of 32 segments, which just makes 32 copies of the same thing. And I will turn off relative offset, which is what was causing the problem in the first place. Now, to get all the 32 to go in a circle, I'm going to add an empty. Any of these will be fine. And we're going to give it a rotation about the z-axis. That's 360 divided by whatever number you were, whatever number of segments you put into the circle. In this case, it's 32. Now, if we go back here, enter it to use the empty as an offset. Yeah, that worked. Okay, now the reason I wanted to use the array for this is that I don't want to work on every brick individually. I just want to modify one and use that. So now if I highlight this and extrude it, all of this stuff comes up at the same time. Okay, I'm going to put the bevels in now. Again, I'm mostly working by eye. Can hide this for now. And we can get rid of these two because we don't really need them. Did you just say serial kill? What? That might just be my strange way of saying circle. See you, Stefano. Okay. I mean, yeah, Blender can be a bit complicated. I know Danny yesterday on Colin's stream mentioned that he uses Rhino instead of Blender. I found that surprising because I usually found Rhino to be a lot more complicated to use. But you know, I guess it's just the tools you get used to. Okay, I just want to do a couple of more things here. I want to hit the merge button here, because right now what we have are 2 points next to each other. I really just want 1 point where these two things meet. And turn it down to 1 millimeter. So that should be a lot cleaner. Also, I think I'd like these. Thanks, Max. I'll probably make a cleaned up version of this video with a proper script and stuff, because I don't think this is very easy to follow. But we'll see. Okay, just want to give a bevel on that. Just a little bit. Okay, so that's it for the outer circle. What I was planning to do to texture it is use some displacement maps like I did in a previous video, but that's just going to be a lot of playing around with Photoshop and fixing around. So I'm just going to move on and do the inner circles. Okay, now for the first one I want it to be 5 millimeters in from the outer edge. This is 80 millimeters, so I'm bringing it into 75. Can hide this for now. Okay, and I want a second one at 73, so this one will be 2 millimeters thick. Okay, see you Max, buon appetito! Right, just going to do the same trick with the array. Relative offset off. And I'm just going to use the same empty object to rotate it. Okay. Now in this case I want to bring it up 14 millimeters because I want it to stand out above the other circle. And we can bring it up a little, actually. We can just use the transform here. Oops, nope, that doesn't like it. Can do it by just applying this because we don't need to modify this again. And now we can just move it up. Let's say 12, yeah, perfect. And that's in place. Now I can just make a copy of this one. And scale it down to where we need it. Which is about there. Yeah, I think I'm still a long way from making workable STLs, but I can practice. Okay, so that's the first part. Can probably do the second ring, but what we could do for the inner ring, the one that will go between these, is just use a copy of this one. Would that work? Probably not. And that's okay. We should just be able to make another one in the same way as I did the first one, but let's move on, try to work on the base instead. So this should be a bit simpler, because I can just work off a cylinder. This one's way too big. Ten centimeters will be fine, and I think I'm going to go with 5mm thickness on this one. Turn it 90 degrees. Whoa. Wrong item. Oh, okay. Common Blender mistake. I just edited the thing in edit mode, so it was stuck to something else. But yeah, I stand by what I said earlier. I do sound a lot smarter when I'm pre-recorded. Okay, let's bring this down so we can see what we're doing. That will do for now. And I'm going to hide these guys for now. Okay, edit mode again. Loop cut. Why can I loop cut this? Ah, of course. Second cylinder. This time I want it to be, let's say, 8 centimeters. Turn that 90 degrees and just lay them on top of each other. Okay. Okay, that should be a good start to that. So what I should do next is cut off this bottom bit and make a couple of pins in here so that once it's printed out it can just slot together. What I'm going to do is group these guys. Let's just group these guys as well, since we're here. And I'm just going to add a cube for this volume. Find the Boolean modifier. Where did it go? There. Have to do it the other way around. Okay, so go on the intersection of both of those. Hope it doesn't crash. Is that your dog barking? No, I don't have a dog. If you hear something that sounds like a chainsaw or something, that's probably my laptop though, because it is not enjoying this right now. Okay, this doesn't seem to have done much. Let's try something else. Okay. Okay, let's have this snap to vertices. And make a cut all the way across there. So hopefully now whoops. We should be able to just remove those. Okay, I get you. The array still isn't applied on this one, so it's just going to be picking up the whole thing. So applied. Knife again. Let's see if it works this time. Kind of. Kind of worked. Should just be able to hide these in there. Of course, now we'd probably need to print this as a single part object. Okay, that was a pretty messy jump through for a stream. Hopefully the future ones I'm planning go a bit smoother, especially if I can get some guests on or something, so there isn't so much silence punctuated by puzzlement. So I think I'm going to wrap it up here for today. Thanks for bearing with me because this was pretty confusing for me. I think the stream setup went okay, so I'm pretty happy about that. The rest of the stuff, yeah, I definitely need to script that and go over it again. So, thank you for watching and have a great week. Hopefully I'll be back in a while with some let's put it this way, with better quality stream content. So catch you around for after a bit. Bye. This was fun. It was fun. It was a bit confusing, I think, though. So anyway, thanks, man. Catch you guys later.